Hello and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. And Jacques Nielbo has announced his side for the third and final series-defining test against Wales, which will take place this weekend at the Cape Town Stadium down in Cape Town. And it is a very expected side. It is very much the Springboks' probably strongest side that they can currently put out, or at least the strongest 23 that they probably can currently put out. A couple of very big nods. And the big news is that ETZEBETH will become the youngest Springbok to reach 100 test caps. Absolute incredible player. And probably one of, if not the greatest Springboks of all time at the way he's going. Having won everything there is to win as a Springbok, having captained the side, and he will raise the bat number 100 this weekend for ETZEBETH. Also a big milestone for Bongi Mbonambi, who will be making his 50th appearance this weekend. And it's a side stacked with experience, it's a side stacked with talent, and a side that definitely has all the firepower it needs to go out and get the job done. Before we go into what the team looks like, please do smash like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. We will be live for this weekend. We'll be live for the SC Under 20 game tonight as well. So lots of live watch-alongs to come this week. But in terms of the team itself, this is how we will line up, and all the big names are back in the side. The front row, first of all, it's the same front. It's Bongi Mbonambi and Malfrance Mahurba come in. In a very similar pack to the first test. However, Trevor Inyakane will start at loosehead this weekend. And I think that if we look at our two front rows, I think this is probably the strongest two front rows we have. I think last year, Trevor Inyakane was absolutely immense throughout the entire season. And it speaks about the depth of the box that, for example, Oxenchair is not selected, and yet we're still looking at two incredible front rows. I think that Trevor last year was one of our best props, sitting at loose head. I think Frans Malherbe is undroppable at tight head. Bongi Mbonambi there. And then obviously we've got the likes of Malcolm Mark, Stephen Kitshoff, and Vincent Koch off the bench. ETZEBETH, Lotto Yaga come back and they will reunite their partnership in the second row. Sia Khaleesi, Jasper Wiese back in the side. Peter Steph the Toy will start once again the number 7 jersey, and they'll be hoping for a much improved performance from the former World Player of the Year. In terms of the backline, Hendrickson is retained from last week, as is Pollard. And then apart from that, the usual backline, the usual suspects, Makazole Mapimpi, Damien Dealendi, Lekanya Cheslin Colby, Damien Willemse. And I really like the selection. I think that Hendrickson has been backed on form in the fact that he played so well last weekend, so he's gotten the nod there. Pollard's been brought back as a number 10. We need to see a much improved performance from him. But then apart from that, we brought back the other backline, and Damien Willemse continuing to be backed after his very impressive showing in the first test. Off the bench, Malcolm Marx, Stephen Kitshoff, Vincent Koch, Franco Mostert, Albert Lowe, Kwaka Smith, Faf de Klerk, Willie Leroux. There is only one non-World Cup winner on the bench, and that is Albert Lowe. That is how class that bench is. It's incredible. 7 out of the 8 players are all World Cup winners. So you talk about impact off the bench. Well, I don't think Springboks have had a much stronger bench like that in their history. It's a very strong bench, it's a very good starting lineup, and I think it's a nice balance of bringing back sort of the big figures. They could have gone Oxenchair, Trevor Inyakane. I don't think there's too much in between them. I like the fact that Trevor's been awarded based on last year and based on the fact that he is a very senior player within the squad. I'll be interested to see how he goes at loose head. He struggled a little bit at tight head last week. It's a massive front row, really. If you look at Trevor, Frans Malherbe, Bongi Mbonambi, it's a really, really big front row. But more importantly, it's a very experienced front row. Frans Malherbe is playing 48. There's basically 150 caps between in the front row itself. There's 160 odd caps in the second row. The experience in this team is unbelievable. It's only one player with fewer than 10 test caps, and that's Jaden Hendrickson. After Jasper Wiese, everybody else in the entire team, apart from David Willemse and Cheslin Colby, has 20 plus caps, and David Willemse and Cheslin Colby have 17 caps. So if you look at, for example, the experience, there's everything you need to know. If we look at the sort of caps, there's 654 caps in the starting lineup. There's 212 in the back line, 442 in the forwards, and there are plenty of caps on the bench as well. The average caps per player in the back line are 30, in the forwards apparently 55, and the average amount of caps on the bench is 40 caps on the bench. So it's And some people don't like that, for example. Some people will sit there saying, well, we don't, where's the youth? But I really enjoy the fact that Albert Lowe has been back once again. I thought he had a really good first game. Jasper Wiese, I think, has to come back in. I don't think Evan Hurst did enough to dislodge him from the side. I think you got to feel for Kirkley Aronson, but he's up against Cheslin Colby for a spot. So, there just isn't space. So yeah, it's a very strong Springbok side. They need to improve the performance. We need to see a big performance from them. We need to see a dominant performance. We've lost our number one ranking. So questions will now be asked: is this the same side that won the World Cup? Is this still the number one side in the world? This Saturday is the opportunity to go and prove that. Please let me know what you think of the team down in the comments below. Please do smash like on the video and subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steven, and I'll chat to you soon.